like what humans are. There will not be a situation where there could be strikes, or a person can say, okay, I'm not available on a particular day. There will be issues of ethics, subjectivity, what is happening now in terms of human. But when it comes to artificial intelligence, all of this will get ruled out because of the kind that you would have given the algorithm to the artificial intelligence in a manner that which will make a difference. I'll just show you a slide. It's a business. Just spend just 2 minutes onto the slide to give you a view that how businesses are taking place. Now here is a Healthify a billion. You can see this business started by us in the area in the year of 2014, and then we started identifying as to what is the problem in terms of the kind of weights people are putting up. People are becoming more obese, and this is why a lot of diseases are getting connected to the overweight. And then we thought of launching a business sort of for Healthify Me. It began something like this. And the way it progressed, you can imagine, look at the way it has progressed. And it has gone to 500 million. Is a kind of, look at that, the phenomenal rate at which the business is advancing. I am coming down to you now, the artificial intelligence aspect of it, just neglecting the remaining slides. Yeah. So we had a problem with that how to go for scale. So from merely 3 million people, we had to increase it to 30 million people in 4-5 years. How can we do that? So we found that this is a problem, and we also found that there were very few skilled people who could provide this. There was a prohibitive cost of scale, because if you have more mentors or more advisors or more coach, you will have to be making a lot of payment to them, and it required a lot of personalization. These are some of those things that we had in mind. So we started working on it, and then we thought that artificial intelligence is going to drive the cost down. We'll have less coach, and we have artificial intelligence doing the work for us. And this is how we started moving up. A lot of markets got into, when we got into competition, a lot of markets also came into competition for this. And our story is that the 30 million lives have been impacted with 10 million kg lost. And this is what our users were in 2014, which was 30,000. And now the revenue, that time was no revenue when we began, obviously. And then we moved on from here. From 15 million, the revenue became 15 million in 2018. The users were also the same number. Imagine, just a very fresh idea. You all students should have a look-see at this, how a business can be started and how it can go to provided you have that kind of, desire to launch your own startup. And then it has gone to 2,000 coaches across the region. Most of them are females. Sometimes if you log on to this, Healthify Me, you will see how this business is moving up. Now here is what I want to draw your attention to, the artificial intelligence. Earlier on what we had was artificial intelligence was only to the coach, and then this is how it used to work. Then the coach would interact with the user. We had, millions of messages and data which were so useful to make an artificial intelligence. More the data, more the accuracy. Now the whole world is going for less data, because data is becoming a challenging effort. The less data you have, and you can really run through your artificial intelligence in a better way, you would be great in the times to come. So we had enough of data and therefore we went for it. Then the next step, we went for the artificial intelligence. It started interacting with the user. And we created a chatbot by the name of RIA, if you see that. So when we did that, the business suddenly jumped because RIA became very active. And that artificial intelligence was now working between coach and users. So there was, two-way traffic between all of them. This is a stage which we were till recently. And then we suddenly moved from this stage. We thought, let's, like somebody was asking a question, will the jobs go away from here? Now here the jobs of the coach have reduced, but they have not gone away. The coach are also deriving almost 40 to 50% of our business. Whereas artificial intelligence, the chatbot is also driving around 60% of our business. That's how the ratio is. So jobs are not totally going, but jobs, the people are started working alongside the artificial intelligence. So here, this is our last phase 3 stage, where we have started interacting with artificial intelligence and the user themselves. The user makes a call to the artificial intelligence, hello, I want to have a cheat day today. I want to eat all the kind of nonsense stuff. Okay, I want to go to, McDonald's and have a burger. Can I do the cheating now or not? So, Ria will say, no, you cannot do the cheating today. Maybe you will have to take a little more protein today, and I will give you permission to cheat tomorrow, not today, because your level of that is not good enough at the current time. You can ask her any question. Please go to the website, ask Ria any question about you, as to what was the wrong thing that you had taken yesterday, and that you should not take it. What is the best thing that you took yesterday? And she will keep on telling you all of this stuff. And there are millions and millions of questions which have been asked by people to AI, to RIA. And what is happening? The machines are learning. When the machines are learning, when the machine learning is taking place, RIA is able to give even the best of answer, because that is the beauty of artificial intelligence. It is not input to output. It is input and output both measured to make a better answer next time. So now look at the business. Business have moved from what was 3 million to 30 million. That was in 2021. Now it has, the users have moved to 30 million and the business have moved to $50 million. And now it has been funded by the US, some of those big companies. And today, this is going to be a next unicorn in making very soon. So this is how, ladies and gentlemen, you should be thinking that artificial intelligence is indeed going to make a lot of difference in the lives of people. This is also reflecting on the society, where you are actually helping people to live their lives in a more decent manner, in a more fitter manner, so that you have less of problems. I think this matter, as I said, artificial is so big in nature. To cover it in small little manner would be rather difficult. As long as all of you got a message that you are on the right line, firstly, the very fact that you are researching in it, you are writing a research paper, the very fact that there is an enthusiasm in you that you will go in for artificial intelligence, the very fact that you know the Indian story is wonderful and it will provide you the right kind of a platform that you are looking forward to it, and that artificial intelligence is the thing for tomorrow. And people, small businesses to big businesses will be driven by artificial intelligence, and there will be a society which will be great gainer because of the health aspect and because of the business that is going to give it to the world. And you are the people who will take the country up to the next development level and to be a world power in the area of technology as well as economically and in business in the times to come. The country is already on the path, is taking very long stride. Government is supporting you all, and I think you have a wonderful future ahead of you. So be very, very positive in your lifetime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing that artificial intelligence technologies are great at driving or even replacing the lower level repetitive tasks, but business often achieves the greatest performance improvements when humans and machines work together, as it will enable people to rethink how we integrate information, analyze data, and use the resulting insights to improve decision making in every walk of life.
May we now request Mr. Samir Agarwal to kindly share his wisdom with us. Sir, please.
थोड़ा सा इधर उधर कर ले हाँ अभी ये सही है ये
Honorable Director, honored speakers, faculty members, students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It gives me immense pleasure to see such a wonderful audience who has come to attend this seminar on technological, social and economic innovations on artificial intelligence, data science and cyber security. Gone 2 years was very challenging and depressing for all of us due to pandemic times. So I'm sure the trend will continue and we all will keep organizing such wonderful events. So a big round of applause to everyone, for all of us who are safe right now and attending this conference. Well, it's a little tough for me to actually say what I had planned, because my 15 days of effort in preparing my lecture to address this gathering has gone down the drain. I'll tell you the reason why, because most of the things, whatever I have planned to say, has already been spoken by Mr. Patel, by Mr. Sabapathy, and of course, Mr. Sharma. But still, since I am here as a speaker, I would like to put across my point of view on artificial intelligence and innovations in social, economic and technological arena. This too much of information flow has already happened since morning. So I was thinking that I'll talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, blah blah blah. I'm not going to be talking on these words or technologies, because I'm sure by now you are all aware what is AI. You are all aware what is ML. You are aware what is data science. You are aware what is data analytics. But out of these four, which is the most important component for artificial intelligence to function? Anyone? Okay, so human beings. So there was a question which was posed to Mr. Ashish Patel by some student here, that is human race at risk because of artificial intelligence. What is your take on that? Do you really think human race or humans are at risk because of artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence exists because of human intelligence. Do you agree with me? Yes. So I think I want to end up my talk by saying so that artificial intelligence is the need of the hour, but without human intervention, human intelligence, no algorithm, no data analysis, no data science can work. The humans are the key. Our human neurons create intelligent algorithms to create algorithms to make efficient analysis of data which is available to us, and it helps in making quick decision making. That is my understanding of artificial intelligence. let me ask you a few questions which I already have it in my mind. Will AI destroy humans and humans are at risk? So you have already answered that question. Will AI ever take over human intelligence? Will AI ever take human intelligence? Okay. Is AI transforming every walk of life? Yes. So if AI is transforming every walk of life, then where is the threat? What is the problem? I'll tell you the problem. Is AI a fiction or really a science? What happened? Is this question confusing? Is it a fiction or a science? I can't hear you. Fair enough. So if it is a science, let's talk science. Let's discuss what is the science behind it. And the science behind it is human neurons. We are putting our efforts to create effective data, summarize the data, pumping the data into the machine. Data analytics analyzes the data. Machine learning creates algorithms, and artificial intelligence gives you effective results to take quick decisions. So it is an added field of science which is helping all of us in today's environment. How many of you use Google Map? I think everybody. Google Map is a part of our life. Google search. We all know what is Google search. So if we don't have any answer, we simply say let's go to Google Auntie, and Google Auntie will give us the answer. Including programmers, what they do, they forget the syntax, they go to Google, copy the code from there and put it in the applications. I'm citing these examples, this is because this is what exactly is happening in our organization, and we have caught people doing that. So Google search. How many of you are on Facebook? How many of you tag your friends? How many of you keep getting the relevant information or the information quite often which you don't even ask for? So I think you know what is artificial intelligence. I don't have to tell you what is artificial intelligence now. Okay? How many of you are on Twitter? Fair enough, that's a fairly large number who are on Twitter. Do you really know that Twitter has banned 300,000 terrorist-linked accounts because of offensive language? And these accounts, they were created by non-human AI machines. So every side has got two sides. Every coin has got two sides, positive and negative. Since morning, I have been hearing everything positive about AI. But have we ever thought what are the negative aspects of artificial intelligence? Fair enough, we are living in the world we are in the 21st century, and innovation is the need of the hour. And during pandemic times, we have seen how innovations in the areas has really helped us. So to name few things, what I have observed during the pandemic times, we have become more lethargic. You might say that I'm a little blunt on this, but that's the fact. All of us, we have become very lethargic. How many of you go to the market to buy the grocery, clothes, fashion apparels, etc., etc.? I can hardly see any hands coming up. Very, very few. How many of you go to Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra, Nykaa? I can see many hands coming up. That is the meaning of what I'm saying is we are becoming lethargic. How many of you, I should not be asking you this question, how many of you go to the market to buy the grocery? I'm really happy to see a lot of young hands coming up. Because in today's context, big basket is the answer. You open an account on big basket, everything is online. You don't have to step out of your house. You don't have to run under the sun, burn your blood, and buy groceries for yourself and for your home. Everything is available on your mobile. So, don't you think they're becoming more lethargic? So that is the first negative aspect of artificial intelligence. Yes, innovation is the need of the hour and we need it. And as the earlier panelists have said, the scaling up of technology is always required. But the biggest negative aspect of artificial intelligence, which is as of now going on across the world, I don't want to name it, but we all have read it in newspapers and we hear that news every day. It's 52nd day of hyper war, which is going on. These are all negative aspects of artificial intelligence. But then, as a panelist speaker, I must admit here that we cannot stop the innovations. We cannot stop the activity using the technology. The final aspects of artificial intelligence is that governments across the world have started thinking about it. As Dr. Makkar mentioned, UID. Because of UID, which is the biggest application, the fund fund was transferred into the accounts. The vaccination drive done by Government of India became a success story. So we cannot neglect those things. The data highways are becoming new shipping routes. Cloud storage is gradually taking place of shipping containers and warehouses. Decentralization, digitization are likewise replacing conventional means of communication and transactions. So on the economic front, because of AI and other tools which are available, we have the finest skilled labor available in the country. Conventional wisdom suggests that AI will continue to benefit higher skilled workers with greater degree of flexibility, creativity, and strong problem-solving skills. But it is certainly possible and even likely that AI-powered robots could increasingly replace highly skilled and educated workforce, such as doctors, engineers, architects, and even computer programmers. There are instances wherein the robots are conducting surgery. AI has played a very major role in the area of in the domain of medicine and healthcare. Using AI technology, IBM has designed a technology called Watson technology, which is being used by 230 organizations worldwide to identify 2 million records and identify a rare leukemia disease, which could not have been possible at all. Genome sequencing is happening as of now. Okay, the live example is because of vast amount of data available to us, the data scientists could research and design and develop a vaccine for coronavirus. And thankfully we are all safe right now. We are all, I'm sure everybody must have had their booster, their double doses. Okay. But then the question is, like I said, we have all become lethargic. We all know what is data science, we all know what is machine learning, we all know what is deep learning, we all know what is artificial intelligence. Not to get into the nitty-gritties of that, but how do we maximize the benefits of AI? I think that is the need of the hour and that is the basic purpose of this conference. I'm not going to talk about what is the social innovations, how it's going to help us. I think my earlier speakers have already talked about it. Whether it is they are in the field of finance, whether they are in the field of social, medical, training, etc. But how do we further maximize it? So my first point to put across to everybody here is that encourage greater data access for researchers without compromising users' personal privacy. As of now, the biggest challenge is data. I'm sure all of us, we keep on getting calls from banks to take loans, to make credit cards, to take some insurance policy, etc., etc. The moment you say yes, or the moment you attend that call, suddenly the number of calls start increasing. Suddenly. Why so? You give donation to one NGO for a noble cause, the life is going to become miserable. I don't know how come the other NGOs get to know that okay, this guy will donate for a noble cause. So these are some drawbacks of artificial intelligence. So my first point to maximize AI benefit is encourage data access. My second point which I want to put across is invest more government funding in unclassified AI research. Promote new models of digital education and AI workforce development so employees are skilled needed in the 21st century. In our times, there was nothing called artificial intelligence. At least me or my other panelist members, they will agree with me. We started a career when even computers were not there. Correct me if I'm wrong. There might be a minute, faculty members sitting here, they might have started their career when the computers were just at the stage of beginning. If I tell you, we worked on systems wherein we had 8.25 inch of proper drive, you will probably say this guy has gone mad. So we worked in those eras, wherein the Xerox machine was as big as your electron microscope. But today, if we talk about all these technologies, we will say what primitive era we are talking about. But yes, the technology, every decade, the technology improves and it takes a different turn altogether. So today it's the era of AI. Create AI advisory committee to make policy recommendations. Engage with social and local officials so that they have effective policies. Take bias complaints seriously so AI does not replicate historic injustice. Maintain mechanism for human oversight and control. Penalize malicious AI behavior and promote cyber security. These are few points which I think should be highlighted to maximize the benefits of AI. But to sum it up, I would like to still again mention here that AI's existence is because of human intelligence. So the human race is not at a risk. But yes, we can definitely use our skill to make it more effective and beneficial for the society. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting that artificial intelligence has had a huge impact on many industries in recent years and will continue to benefit them in the future as well. Thank you, sir.
Now, to ignite the zealous mind and inculcate learning among all, we would like to request Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey to kindly address the gathering. So, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Urvashi Makkad, for inviting me here. I'm really feeling delighted and thanks a lot from the core of my heart. I would again say the same thing which my earlier speaker has said. Being the last speaker, everything has been said and done. So I have nothing new to say, but still, I'm a learner, I'm a practitioner, I'm not an expert like these two people who are sitting on the dais. So for a learner and for a practitioner, it is better to repeat the things for better remembrance.
So whatever I will say, I apologize before you. If there are things which are repetitive, if there are things which has already been said, so please excuse me for that. Before I say something, I just wanted to reply to one of the points raised by my previous speaker. He was saying that humanity is not at the risk because of the artificial intelligence. And I would like to quote Elon Musk, who is a technology entrepreneur and investor, everybody knows him. He has said AI doesn't have to be able to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to come in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course without even thinking about it, no hard feelings. So there are various, aspects of this artificial intelligence. Just imagine where we have come to today. We had been talking about artificial jewelry, we had been talking about artificial makeup, we had been talking about artificial smiles, and now we are at the age of artificial intelligence. So, it is a reality, it's a hard reality of the day-to-day life, because data science is shifting towards a new paradigm where machines can be taught to learn from data to derive conclusive intelligent insights. Artificial intelligence is a broad term for smart machines, as you all know, programmed to undertake cognitive human tasks that require judgment-based decision-making. Deloitte's white paper predicts that the world will see AI-driven GDP growth of 15.7 trillion by 2030. So with all the hype around artificial intelligence, robot, self-driving cars, etc., it can be easy to assume that AI doesn't impact our everyday lives. You probably interact with artificial intelligence on a daily basis and don't even realize it. From the moment you wake up to check your smartphone to watching another Netflix recommended movie, AI has quickly made its way into our everyday lives. Today, artificial intelligence is a household name and sometimes even a household presence. Don't we say, "Hi Alexa"? We all say that. So, did you use the internet today? That is driven by artificial intelligence. You visit Facebook, everything has been said earlier, but I am repeating. From Amazon, check the weather, or when you are watching YouTube or anything, you're connecting on the LinkedIn, texting your co-worker. If you did any of these activities, you are generating data, and you are only one of the billions who is also generating data. In fact, users now generate 2.5 quintillion bytes of data each day, and 90% of the data we have today generated was just in the past 2 years. According to Statista, the global AI market is set to grow up to 54% every single year. So businesses across industries have realized the importance of using data, which has led to a growing demand for data science professionals. Institutions too are providing learning solutions to upskill and upscale their workforce. We are in a world driven by big data and estimated that by 2025, the volume of global data should touch 180 gigabytes. But this voluminous data will require domain experts who can convert it into actionable insights through advanced technology. And this is important for you, being a student. Why should learn the artificial intelligence? Why should study data science? Because there is a huge good career. Hence, the role of a data scientist is a fundamental to support the leadership teams to formulate strategy and plans. Harvard Business Review has declared data science the sexiest jobs of the 21st century. Glassdoor named data scientist as the #1 job in the US, with a job score of 4.8 out of 5 and a satisfaction rate of 4.2 out of 5. IBM have already predicted that demand for data scientists will soar 28% way back in 2020. Now we are in 2022. So imagine. So similarly, globally organizations have realized that data is the biggest asset they have collected over years of operation. However, they are unable to utilize it to its fullest potential even today. According to IIM research, in India there were 1,37,000 jobs in data science in June 2021, which witnessed 47.1% increase in open jobs requirement as compared to last June 2020. So India contributed 9.5% of the total global analytics job openings, a rise from 7.2% in January 2020. Data science will create roughly 11.5 million jobs openings by 2026, and jobs are important. LinkedIn has ranked data science as the fastest growing job globally and has witnessed a growth of over 650% since 2012. The markets led it to grow from 37.9 billion in 2019 to 230.80 billion by 2026. Imagine. So the huge career potential is there. So whosoever is studying artificial intelligence, military, machine learning and the data science, they have a very good future. I don't want to repeat the earlier things which have already been said by several speakers again and again. So let me come on the other aspects. The United States military has also long invested in civilian artificial intelligence with the Pentagon's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, funneling money into key areas of artificial intelligence. You must have heard about the killer robots or loyal wingmen. While the much hyped idea of killer robots, remorseless machines hunting down humans and terminating them for some reason known to themselves. We have heard how the drones are operating, how they are eliminating the terrorists in different countries, especially in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and in other areas. So the digital transformation and AI machine learning have emerged as the biggest buzzwords in the world of technology, with organizations embracing them quite enthusiastically. It has the potential to drive processes at a scale to aid enterprises to make informed decisions and can be an important tool in the digital transformation process. In a crux, what is most important for the business is to focus that digital transformation is more about embracing a holistic approach to bring business transformation. There are several advantages, as earlier speaker was saying. There are very, very positive aspects of artificial intelligence. So we can take it as a complementary approach. Infosys had found 98% of respondents in a survey who used AI-supported activities to power digital transformation. It reported that it had generated additional revenue for their organization by at least 15%. So it has a very, very good, advantage. When it comes to digital transformation, we have seen during this COVID period, this COVID crisis has provided important lessons for business leaders. AI and analytics are boosting productivity, delivering new products and services, accentuating corporate values, addressing supply chain issues, and fueling new startups. I'll give you one example of Frito-Lay, who ramped up its digital and data-driven initiatives during the COVID-19 period, and they compressed 5 years worth of digital plans into just 6 months. 5 साल का जो प्लान था उनका डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का, उसको उन्होंने कंप्रेस करके सिर्फ 6 महीने में लागू कर दिया और उसका फायदा उनको मिल रहा है. So 86% people in a survey has said that AI is becoming a mainstream technology at their company in 2021. China is way ahead of any country. Even the US is also ahead. China's AI industry has developed rapidly with the strong support of funds and policies, and some key technologies have been at the forefront of the world. With the Deloitte sorted out 50 AI enterprises with high growth rate among them, the Chinese enterprises in the fields of education, business intelligence and face recognition, represented by their companies Squirrel AI, ByteDance, you must have heard this name, and CloudWalk, they grew at a walk rate of over 5,000%, 700% and 600%. That is the growth rate because of the artificial intelligence. So the future, everybody knows that AI is starting to make what was once considered impossible, possible, like driverless cars. Dr. Nathan Wilson, who is a co-founder of and CTO of Neuralogix, sees AI on the cusp of revolutionizing familiar activities like dining. Wilson predicted that AI could be used by a restaurant to decide which music to be played based on the interests of the guests in attendance. अगर आपको हो सकता है कि वहां कोई इंडियन फोक सुनने का मन हो, पंजाबी फोक, तो आपके रेस्टोरेंट में पहुंचने के बाद आपका डाटा उनके पास होगा, तो वो पंजाबी फोक बजाना शुरू कर देंगे. That's the power of the artificial intelligence today. आपने देखा होगा, आप गूगल पे सर्च करें किसी पर्टिकुलर. A few months ago, when I had to go somewhere outside country, I was searching about that particular country. What is the weather there? What are the hotels available there? And you imagine, after that, whatever I was searching, the advertisement of that particular country was coming. Advertisement of flights, and whichever, Google search कर रहे हैं, LinkedIn search कर रहे हैं, Facebook search कर रहे हैं, सब जगह वो advertisement आने लगा. And I was so surprised. मैंने अपने वाइफ का फोन लिया, तुम दिखाओ जरा, तुम्हारे मोबाइल में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा? There was no such advertisement. So they are following me just because of artificial intelligence. Even television sets is listening to you. You are watching television, you are discussing something, television set, the new smart televisions. They will listen to your voice and they will start giving you similar advertisements suiting to your requirement. This has become the world today. There are questions about the workplace and the workers, employment, how it will affect the artificial intelligence. It will certainly going to affect. The rise of artificial intelligence will change the workforce. Some experts vehemently deny that AI will automate so many jobs that millions of people find themselves unemployed, while other experts see it as a pressing problem. It is probably algorithms replacing white-collar jobs such as business analysts, hedge fund managers and lawyers. ऐसे बहुत सारे जॉब हैं जो हो सकता है कि ये AI खा जाएगा. और दूसरे ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने अगर आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के साथ कदम से कदम नहीं मिलाया तो वो भी इररिलेवेंट हो जाएंगे. तो आपको एक मशीन के बराबर इंटेलिजेंट बनना पड़ेगा, तभी हम कह सकते हैं कि ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस इज अबव द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. दैट्स वेरी गुड टू से, बट टू compete with the artificial intelligence, your human intelligence has to be more learned, more experienced, more in speed. वरना आपसे पहले वो सब कुछ तैयार करके दे देगा. तो यहां it is going to affect certainly. जो काम आप 1.5 घंटे में ऑफिस को करके दे रहे हैं, अगर वो आधे घंटे में उसने आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ने वो तो उससे भी पहले कर देगा. आजकल फोर्ब्स जैसे मैगजीन अपने आर्टिकल आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से लिखवा रही है. ठीक है, उसमें कुछ इमोशंस नहीं होंगे, कुछ और चीजें नहीं होंगी, बट दैट विल बी करेक्ट फैक्चुअली. It will have absolutely good data, sufficient data. Together you will have to maybe researching another 1 hour on the same Google. तो हमें फास्ट होना पड़ेगा, हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा कि हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से अगर मुकाबला करना है तो हमें क्या क्या चीजें अपने अंदर सीखनी है इन द फ्यूचर. दैट विल बी very, very important for the workforce. Wilson has said that shift towards AI-based systems will likely cause the economy to add jobs that facilitate the transition. But first and foremost, this is a transition that will take years, if not decades, across different sectors of the workforce. So these projections are harder to identify. Widespread use could eliminate as many as 8 million jobs in the United States alone. And AI is already beginning to help fill skill shortage of the existing workforce. क्या होता था, एक बंदे को बिठाइए जो हर बात का कस्टमर्स को जवाब दे. अभी मैं एयर इंडिया पे जा रहा था, हम लोगों की फ्रेंड वहां पर एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर हैं, और अभी टाटा ने उसको लिया, उसने चैटबॉट जो है इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया. व्हाट्सएप पे चैटबॉट विल टॉक टू यू, व्हाटएवर योर क्वेश्चंस आर दे विल रिप्लाई टू यू. नो पर्सन इज सिटिंग देयर. तो जॉब तो गई ना जो वहां बैठा हुआ था बंदा, अब तो चैटबॉट रिप्लाई कर रहा है. तो ये एक नहीं, सारी कंपनीज जब इसको इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे अपने अपने यहां, तो इमेजिन कितने जॉब जाएंगे. ये जो जितना भी कॉल सेंटर जॉब है, अगर चैटबॉट ने रिप्लाई करना शुरू कर दिया तो कॉल सेंटर के हजारों हजार जॉब समा. दैट मे टेक लिटिल टाइम. However, some people say that it is unlikely that all human jobs will disappear. Instead, the workforce will become more specialized. Essentially, there is likely to always be a need for people in the workforce, but their roles may shift as technology becomes more advanced. So, हमारी जिम्मेवारियां बदल जाएंगी. Whether rosy or rocky, the future is coming quickly, and artificial intelligence will certainly be a part of it. So let's get ready for that. The coming boom is business growth, and innovation will be a data-driven one. Recently, I have completed a book on the need of digital leadership. Because still today, day before yesterday, I was in Bangalore and addressing a huge gathering of very senior leaders from academics in the Oxford group of institutions. And I asked many people, all seniors, that how many of you are in the LinkedIn? And I found very few hands raised. They said, I am on LinkedIn, but I hardly use it. Kaya bhaiya, if you don't use LinkedIn, you do not exist in the professional world. So some things are there which you will have to adopt. नहीं, अब मैं तो सोशल मीडिया नहीं करता हूँ, तो ठीक है आप घर बैठिए. How people will you know about you? That you are such a brilliant person? So we'll have to understand the need of the hour. We'll have to understand that we are living in a technology-driven world. And technology has required. मेरी एक जानने वाली प्रोफेसर हैं अमेरिका में, 40 years of experience in America, imagine. At least 4 times she had been on the front page of globally recognized journals because of her innovations in science in her college. साइंस का स्टूडेंट ग्लोबली अमेरिका में रहने वाला लिंक्डइन यूज नहीं करता अभी भी. क्यों? क्योंकि वो ओल्ड जीएन की हैं. उनको जबरदस्ती स्मार्टफोन मैंने परचेज करवाया. आज भी उनको व्हाट्सएप पे जवाब देना ढंग से नहीं आता. एंड यू विल फाइंड मेनी सच पीपल अराउंड यू. यू विल फाइंड पीपल एट योर होम. आई कैन सी द पीपल आर देयर. Then we are talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science. It's not the subject of the people who are just exercising, who are the experts of it. It is related to every individual today, whether you are studying data science, whether you are doing some job related to artificial intelligence or not. It is in everybody's life. So you will have to understand that, we all. Unfortunately, in our country, I think he was saying some little exaggerated, a little higher figure, which might be latest figure, but I have the figure of around 10,09,000 artificial intelligence people, personnel are working in India. Maybe 16, as you said, you rightly said. क्या इतने लोगों से काम हो जाएगा? You require more and more people. Although this is a 20% jump in the personnel from last year, 91,000 artificial intelligence personnel were added in 1 year from 20 to 21. And the median salary of the AI personnel is INR 14.3 lakhs. The highest median salary are drawn by professionals in Mumbai at the rate INR 17.3 lakhs. So there is a growing realization of AI's importance, including its ability to provide competitive advantage and change work for the better. बीच में हमने भी पढ़ा था, आपने भी पढ़ा होगा कि किसी को क्रोर्स में भी इसके पैसे मिल रहे हैं, सैलरी. तो बड़ा अच्छा इसमें करियर स्कोप है. जो पढ़ रहे हैं सो पढ़ रहे हैं, जो नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं उसको जरूर बताओ कि भैया पढ़ना है तो ऐसी चीजें पढ़ो which is employable. So this is one of the sexiest employable education and career. My earlier speaker was talking about the advantages of artificial intelligence. Let me reiterate that what are the other advantages. There will be reduction in human error because artificial intelligence will generally not make any error until and unless कुछ उसमें डाटा गलत नहीं भर दोगे तो वो एरर नहीं करेगा. There is zero risk, no risk, almost 24/7 availability. Whether you say advantage or disadvantage, no human can compete. मशीन तो 24 घंटे काम कर सकती है, चाय भी नहीं मांगेगी भाई, उसके लिए वेंडर नहीं लगाना पड़ेगा वहां. ये कॉफी का वो लगा दो, रात में कॉफी पिएगा या फिर रेस्ट करेगा. आप कहां टिकेंगे उसके सामने? So it's the advantage for the company, businesses, disadvantage for the workers like us. The digital assistants, it will be a digital assistant, better than any PA, smart PA, beautiful PA. So many of the companies would like to hire a robot with artificial intelligence, without any chick, without any फंडा झगड़ा घर पे भैया कौन सी खूबसूरत लड़की को पीए बना के रख लिया, उसके साथ घूमते रहते हो. So the robot will be moving with us, and the digital assistant, what she will provide, no one else can provide, because she will not make any mistake. You can chat with the chatbot and ask them exactly what you need. Some chatbots have become so intelligent these days that you would not be able to determine whether you are chatting with a chatbot or a human being. It will be difficult to differentiate. And the new invention, that is also another advantage. AI has helped in coming up with new invention in almost every domain to solve complex problems. A recent invention has helped doctors to predict early stages of breast cancer in women using advanced AI-based technologies. Biggest advantage. And there will be unbiased decisions. Unbiased decision means छुट्टी लेनी है आपको, आपके लास्ट रिकॉर्ड को देख के वो छुट्टी डिसाइड कर देगा हाँ या ना. There will be no emotion. So it will be unbiased but emotionless. You want to leave today, although you have taken extra leave, and you want, so if there is a human life is there. If a boss is there, so you can please him by throwing your smiles on him and you might get another leave. But if the robo is there, if artificial intelligence is there, no leave. So human beings are driven by emotions whether we like it or not. AI on the other hand, it is devoid of emotions and highly practical and rational in its approach. A huge advantage of artificial intelligence is that it does not have any biased views, which ensures more accurate decision making. But there are risks also of artificial intelligence. Let me talk about what are the risks of artificial intelligence and how it can affect. So the disadvantage of artificial intelligence are, first of all, it has still a very high cost. Otherwise, सब लोग इसको यूज करना शुरू कर देंगे और करेंगे भी, आज नहीं तो कल करेंगे. There is no creativity. The creativity which you can find in humans, I think there will be less creativity in the artificial intelligence. It will certainly increase unemployment, whether you accept it or not, whether you agree or not, but it is going to create more unemployment. Maybe it will be creating something else in some other way. It may create employment for those who are experts of artificial intelligence, but it is certainly going to cut the jobs on the ground. And as my previous speaker rightly said, that it is making humans very, very lazy. अभी तो क्या होता था, पहले तो उठ के टीवी को ऑन करके बटन घुमा के उसमें दबा के ऑन करते थे ना, उसके बाद वो कंप्यूटर पे आ गया तो सोफा पे लेट के हम यहीं से वो ऑन कर देते हैं. अब इसको उंगली चलाने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. यू विल कम एंड से मूवी लगाओ, मूवी लग जाएगा. एलेक्सा न्यूज, एबीपी न्यूज, तो एबीपी न्यूज चलना शुरू हो जाएगा. तो इट्स रियली मेकिंग अस लेजी. And it will certainly create, this addiction to AI can cause problems to future generations. इसका एक और नुकसान है, जैसे वॉइस कंट्रोल्ड सम डिवाइसेस आ रहे हैं ना, वो आपने देखा होगा, एक बड़ा स्मार्ट बंदा का घर में आता है, उसकी सारी चीजें घर की सब उसके वॉइस कंट्रोल से होती हैं. गलती से वो डेंटिस्ट के पास जाता है, अपने दांत का ऑपरेशन या कुछ करवाता है, वापस आता है तो उसकी आवाज बदल जाती है. And he is not able to enter in his own house. क्योंकि वॉइस कंट्रोल उसका जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है वो उसको रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करता और उसको घर के अंदर आने नहीं देता. तो हर चीज का डिसएडवांटेज होता है. कभी कभी जो बड़ी अच्छी गाड़ियां होती है ना, जब उसमें आग लगती है तो चूंकि उनके शीशे जल्दी आसानी से नहीं खुल सकते और बड़ा मुश्किल होता है, तो बहुत लोग उसमें घुट के मर जाते हैं. वो उसका डिसएडवांटेज है. सो देयर आर सो मेनी डिसएडवांटेज ऑफ सच थिंग्स. वन डिसएडवांटेज इज दैट देयर इज नो एथिक्स. तो एथिक्स नहीं रहेगा. तो प्लस एंड माइनस पॉइंट दोनों इसके लिए हैं. और हम देखते हैं, हम एज ए कंट्री where India stands, हम कहां खड़े हैं. I will take just 2 minutes to wonder. We see a very rosy picture and we fashionably say that quoting some reports, for example, I will quote NASSCOM report which says that AI is expected to add USD 450 and 500 billion to India's GDP by 2025, accounting for 10% of the country's USD 5 trillion GDP. This is a very good target. AI has the possibility to add 957 billion or 15% of the present gross value to the Indian economy by 2035. Very good. So will Indian companies be able to keep up this heightened pace of digital and data-driven innovations as the world emerges from COVID? Can we compete with China? In 2020, 2 years before, the size of the Chinese AI market amounted to over $128 billion yuan. Why? Because the PLA spends more than 1.6 billion US dollar each year on AI-enabled systems. So we will also have to think that how we can increase. Fortunately, the NEP 2020, it has introduced subjects such as artificial intelligence and design thinking. One of the major highlights of the NEP 2020 is to teach coding to students from class 6 onwards. So this is certainly going to help our country. So I hope under the new education policy, the next gen Indian youth will be more prepared to take India in the absolute leadership role in the AI, machine learning and data science areas. This knowledge will help the country to solve its own problems and achieve 5 years plan efficiently and more effectively. But there should be a focus on developing advanced and modern data infrastructure, more flexible, supportive and secure data policy to be in the AI race with the US and China. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights on how the combination of AI and human intelligence will lead to the development of sophisticated cybersecurity innovations in the future. Moreover, artificial intelligence will enable an efficient battle against the rising cyber attacks and crimes. Let's have a huge round of applause for Mr. Onkareshwar.
After this knowledgeful session and listening to such great speakers, there must be so many questions coming up in the minds of all. The session is now open for questions. I request the student volunteers to please provide the mics.
Due to the paucity of time, we'll be taking only 2 to 3 questions.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Sabapathy. So Onkareshwar sir talked about AI, how it will be helpful for the employment. But what I am thinking is that for the AI there should be a much more involvement of the government also, because we need a skilled labor for whenever there is a change in technology. There should always be a learning of it. So for that, I feel the scarcity of skilled labor is much more in India also. Though we say that we have a lot of laborers in India, but there is a still scarcity of skilled labor. So what corporate can do for this, and what initiative government should come with? Because initially government also thought about a lot of skilled labor, things, but even I'm not able to think about this, that how it can be solved.
You are asking to me?
Yeah, sure, sir.
See, government has a limitation, and the limitation is limited to make the policies. So they can create policies so that more skilled people can come up, and for that they have already created the NSDC, and skills are being developed. There are universities which are providing the skills. All the private colleges, government colleges, universities, they are trying to skill people in various skills, In regard to another question, can you repeat the first question? What was that?
The first question was that technology, the way technology is changing. So we need a skilled labor. Though we have laborers, but there is a requirement of skilled labor.
So the corporates are also doing some sort of trainings with in collaboration with various universities. There are new innovations coming up. day before yesterday when I was in Bangalore, somebody said that the industries are looking for the young people, and they have developed, some sort of new apps also, where they will be providing new skills to the youngsters, whosoever is willing. And then if the youngster is coming up to their expectation, they will provide jobs to them also, to selected few, and also they will provide, internship, paid internship. So there are several efforts going on in different directions, from the government, from the corporates, from other ends also. So many NGOs and foundations are there who are seriously taking up this cause. They are skilling up the people. So the efforts are going on, and the future is good. And every individual has a role. As an individual, I will have to skill up myself. Every year, when the year ends, we take some place and we say something कि हम अगले साल ये करेंगे. हमने इस साल क्या किया? Every month, when you will ask yourself what I have learned, so then you are skilling up. If you are not skilling up yourself, how the country will be skilled up? Every end of the month, you must ask yourself, this month I have learned this thing which I had not learned in the last month. Again the next month, you add up something in your own skill first. So every individual, I am not talking to you individually, I am saying to everybody, every student, every month you should learn something new or create something new that will be the help to in making of a skilled nation. Thank you.
Are you justified with your answer, or you want to hear more?
So, ma'am, I think I'll also like to, take a point of view.
Look, there are three things I would like to share with you what government is doing, because your question was what government is doing. I really appreciate all the youngsters who are sitting here trying to find out what government is doing in our country currently to implement technology in the life of every single citizen. Very simplest of the examples, and then you will realize how much are the strongest of the impacts on the economy of the country. Only one implementation of UID has changed the 80 million population's fate. 1 point. Second, simplest of implementation of FASTag on the highways has saved till now 800 crores of rupees of the country on annual basis. The collection of the toll on the roads of the country has increased to 800 crore rupees annually, isn't it? So that FASTag has taken care of one single aspect of the toll on the highways of India, isn't it? Third, very simplest of the example, that BSNL is one of the PSU of India in the telecom sector. Government did not allow it to come up with 4G earlier, but the current government has allowed it to launch its 4G, but 100% indigenous 4G, which is made only in India by TCS. So now Tata is creating 4G indigenously, which is going to be launched very soon by BSNL. And this is one of the most prestigious projects of Government of India. Try to find about it. And how it's now going to change the life of more than 70 million people sitting in the rural areas of the border states and districts of the country. You will be realizing the change in the coming 6 months. So the way various projects have been taken up by the government, they are in very big league. Try to read them and be proud of that also as an Indian. Then very, very important change which India has already implemented, that is the new education policy 2021. That education policy is driving towards skill enhancement only. The core focus of new education policy is the skill enhancement of the youngsters. And do you really know that there are even the exit policies? If, say, for example, a student is entering in a 4-year program, and after first year they are facing the financial challenges. First year, they will get the diploma certificate. They can go out, work for 2 years. They can come back to the second year once again and continue that education, and they can complete that education in even 12 years. Isn't it? Then, they can earn the credits from 10 different universities doing a course of 4 years from X university. Like if you are doing GM from IMS Ghaziabad and you want to take 6 new credits in artificial intelligence from any other university of India, you can earn 6 credits from there. You can get them added at IMS Ghaziabad and PGDM degree can be given. So much of the flexibility which has been going to empower the youngsters in the coming years. Only thing, yes, of course, is the sincerity of implementation. That's what is needed in the education sector, and we sitting in the education sector have very huge responsibility towards that. I'm very sure my fraternal colleagues who are sitting here from the academia, they will agree to it that the current new education policy is one of the best defined policy of the world currently. And if implemented in totality, it can take India to entirely different league. So try to read about that new education policy also. These are certain, very few examples I have cited. I am not even talking about the infrastructural projects where AI is being utilized in our country today and to what extent. That is the reason now infrastructural projects are finishing up exactly on the deadline. The timelines are not spiraling, which used to be once upon a time that one flyover and delays of 5 years, that used to be considered very common in our country. But today the deadline and timelines are adhered to. And of course the technology is being utilized over there. So these are few of my inputs, but yes, I would appreciate all the youngsters try to find out much more. Take it as a case study that what are the new initiatives which government is taking and how the impacts are going to be there on your lives tomorrow. Because you are the ones who will be impacted most by these revolutions which are going on today in our country. So well, I think Mr. Samir would also like to add on certain points. Thank you. I think I could justify something.
Yes, ma'am. I got a point of view. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, Alok, to add on what Mr. Pandey said and what Dr. Makkar said, the only point which I wanted to highlight here is that be focused. Don't run for quick bucks. The problem is that I'm hearing it from the corporate standpoint. Okay, we are struggling to get the trained manpower. You'll be shocked to know that when we ask simple questions to potential candidates, I'm sorry to say this, but still I want to highlight it here so that your question gets answered. If we ask simple question, what are the basic concepts of OOPS? These candidates are unable to answer. So you're getting over what I'm trying to say. If today if today you say there are no jobs, I beg to differ. There are plenty of jobs, but the trained manpower, skilled manpower is not available. You ask, you have so much of vacancies in our organization. Okay, but you ask them a simple question: can you differentiate between sales and marketing? They don't answer the question. They give us answers which is round around the corner. So the basics are not clear. If you don't clear the basics, how do you expect to get employed? You are studying, you do BTech, MCA, MTech, whatever. Okay, your aspirations are 50,000, 75,000, 80,000. But when we ask basic questions, we don't get the answer. So we cannot justify. I mean, you cannot justify what you are asking for. That is the basic point which I wanted to highlight here. Government is doing n number of things to educate the youth. Corporate is doing n number of things to educate the youth, to get the free trainings, spend 6 months, 3 months of training a particular resource who comes on board. But after 3 months or 6 months of training, hardcore technical training, if you ask them simple question, can you do this, and you do the assessments, you'll be shocked to know that out of 10, they get marks like 4, 3, 5. Out of a batch of 15 people, you only get 2 or 3 students who score 7, 8, 9. Rest, it's in bad shape. So the student fraternity, the young lot has to upskill themselves. There are so many opportunities. Like I said in my presentation, in our times there were no opportunities. There was no internet. I don't know how many of you go to library. I don't want to answer this question, but we had to go to the libraries. We had to exchange the notes. We had to go and learn things from our colleagues, from our seniors. Today that is not there. I'm sorry to say this, but the youth has to upskill themselves. The faculty is there. I don't know how many of you go to your faculty back and ask them questions. I really don't know. Okay, because you as the faculty knows it better. So I hope I have answered your question.
Sure, sir. Yeah,
Thank
you so much, sir. So one more thing, you said, the scale there is a lack of knowledge which is there. So, sir, in that scenario, as a youngster or budding manager, what I did, because I do have a experience of sales, like as you said, but when I came to the PGDM, I thought, no, future will be all about data driven. So it will be, even if you are doing sales, that will be totally depending on your data, and it will be totally data driven. So, sir, in that perspective, still, I'm taking those subjects more seriously, who are totally related to the data. So, is it the right way to approach things when it comes to the sales, because they are totally on the field job, and this is totally related, because future is all about data driven, sir. So, any take on that?
Obviously, when we talk of sales, we're talking of numbers.
Exactly.
Okay, because marketing is an expense. Okay, and sales is the revenue. Okay, so you need to have the classified data. So you have the classified data, then only you can get the revenues in. Okay, if you want to take sales, so obviously you have to be more market oriented. Sales cannot be done sitting in office. Again, I'm repeating the same thing, that if you ask somebody who's come for a sales job, you'll be shocked to hear this question, sir, field में तो नहीं जाना पड़ेगा. तो भाई field में नहीं जाओगे तो sales कैसे होगी? Today, the sales or marketing or the business is not done on the brands. It is more done on networking, your relationships, the services, how quick service provider you are. That's the need of the hour. So it's data. Everything is driven by data. If you have the correct data and your approach is correct, you get the numbers. Thank you.
Due to the paucity of time, this was the last question. Thank you, dignitaries, for addressing the queries of the young minds.
Let's have a huge round of applause for our dignitaries. We are profusely elated to extend our sincere gratitude to our honored guests for their gracious contribution in the success of international conference. We request the dignitaries to kindly come forward and accept a token of thankfulness from us. Let's have a huge round of applause for all our dignitaries. We humbly request Dr. Urvashi to kindly present a token of gratitude to Mr. Samir Agarwal. Ma'am, please.
Let's have a huge round of applause for Mr. Samir Agarwal.
A big round of applause for Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey. Thank you, sir, once again for being with us. We request Dr. Urvashi to present a token of gratitude to Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey. Sir, please.
A big round of applause for Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey.
heartily request Dr. Urvashi to present a token of gratitude to Dr. G. Sharma. So please.
A big round of applause for Mr. G. Sharma. To have some cherished memories of the event, we request all the dignitaries to kindly come together for a group photograph. I request all the dignitaries to grace the dais for the group photograph. I also request the organizing team and the faculty members to grace the dais for the group photograph. Let's have a huge round of applause for our dignitaries. Thank you, dignitaries. IMS Ghaziabad has started the unique initiative of Inspiring Teachers Awards. Our PGDN students had nominated those teachers who had inspired them during their graduation. We are joined by two such inspiring teachers, and we request our dignitaries to please join us in honoring them.
We request Dr. Urvashi to kindly do the honors. Please put your hands together for our distinguished guest, Dr. Kanika Jindal from Institute of Management Education. A big round of applause for our distinguished guest, Dr. Jagriti Singh from Rajkumar Goel Institute of Technology and Management. Let's have a huge round of applause.
Announce the group photograph also. The photograph announced the group photograph.
I request the guests and faculty members to join us on photograph, for the photograph.
Ma'am, please. For the photograph. Announce the vote of thanks.
It is our privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. We, on behalf of entire fraternity of IMS Ghaziabad, extend our hearty thanks to our charismatic and eminent speakers, Mr. Samir Agarwal, Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey, Dr. G. Sharma, for sparing their valuable time and sharing with us their insights on the theme.
We also extend our sincere thanks to our eminent guests who have come from distant places to attend the international conference. Thank you for joining us. This conference would have not been possible without the unconditional support of our chief patron, Shri Rajesh Agarwal ji, Chairman IMS Group of Institutions, and Shri Nitin Agarwal ji, Managing Trustee, Government Body IMS Ghaziabad. Thank you, sir, for believing in us.
We also put on record our deepest gratitude for our research partner, Inspira Research Association, publication partner, Bloomsbury, our academic partners, Inaugural Management Association, University of Cyprus and Ghaziabad Management Association, our industry partners, PhD Chamber of Commerce,